This is the new Hyundai i10, and I can reveal that after extensive testing by the Carbuyer test team, we have named it our Carbuyer Car of the Year for 2014. And really, there's nothing else for me to say in this video now, so if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go online to carbuyer.co.uk and read about the other category winners.
Actually, our editor said that review was too short, and so the next day he made me take the car back out again and do my job properly.
Okay then, so now I'm going to do a normal full review of the i10 and tell you what's so good about this little Hyundai. Well, for starters, it's very practical for a little car. For instance, that, ladies and gentlemen, is the biggest boot of any city car, and it actually trumps the previous biggest boot of any city car, that of the Volkswagen Up, by, wait for it, this much.
Speaking of which, there are large door bins in the front and the back, while there is room for plenty of snacks in the dash cubby and glove box. Yum.
More impressive though is space for rear passengers. Now, the back doors, they open nice and wide, so it's easy to get in, and there's plenty of space back here even for adults. Now, I'm 5'10" and a half, and knee room's decent, headroom's all right as well. Also, unlike in some other city cars which are strict two-seaters in the back, you can fit 3 people in the back of the i10. And while some of the i10's rivals just have pop-out windows here in the back, it has proper windy down ones, and as you can see, they wind all the way down as well, which is a bonus.
Another bonus is the kit list. Even the entry model has electric front windows, USB input for the stereo, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 airbags as standard. Step up to the mid-level SE version and you also get electric rear windows, air conditioning and remote central locking.
Now, that particular model still starts from under £10,000, which means it's incredibly good value. If you've ever wondered why we don't list prices in our car buyer videos, it's because car prices, they're constantly changing, and we do have up-to-date prices listed on our website, and if you click here, you can see the prices for the Hyundai i10.
And when you consider how much the i10 doesn't cost, the interior is quite upmarket. Yes, all the plastics may be hard, but they feel robust. And the items you actually do touch, such as the steering wheel, gear knob and switches, are made from slightly plusher materials. What's more, you can colour code the cabin to match the exterior. Or, as on this car, not match the exterior if you want. Which incidentally looks very smart. I mean, it looks good, not like a smart car. Anyway.
Now, before we get into the driving bit, I should point out that all Hyundais come with a 5-year warranty and 5 years roadside breakdown assistance. Hopefully you shouldn't need it, because Hyundai came in the top half of all manufacturers in the 2013 Driver Power Owner Satisfaction Survey. And if you click here, you can rate your car at driverpower.co.uk. You can get the i10 with either a 1.2 or a 1 litre petrol engine, and that's what this car has, and actually it's all you really need because it's peppy enough round town and it can hold its own on the motorway. Now, I should point out that this 1 litre actually is just a 3-cylinder unit, and some people can find them a little bit noisy because they make a thrumming sound, almost like you got a hole in the exhaust, but this one's actually quite quiet.
Both the 1 litre and 4-cylinder 1.2 are capable of over 60 miles per gallon. You can get a super efficient clean version of the i10 which emits less than 100 grams per kilometre of carbon dioxide and therefore costs nothing in road tax.
As you'd imagine, being a city car, the i10 is at home here in the urban environment. The suspension deals with bumps well enough and potholes. You've got great all-round visibility, which is handy when you're manoeuvring or parking, and you've got a really tight turning circle, as I'll demonstrate now. My usual going round the roundabout loads and loads of times until I annoy other motorists. There we go, look, I can keep on going, no one's crossed yet. And yeah, it just keeps going round and round. There we go, I'm starting to feel a little bit sick now, so I think I'm going to stop this and carry on with the rest of the review.
The manoeuvrability is helped by the fact the steering is nice and light. Thankfully, it's not too light that at speed the i10 feels imprecise.
When you combine the accurate steering with a light snickety gear change and the fact that there's hardly any body roll around corners and you've got plenty of grip, what you've got here is a small car that's actually big on fun, and I think the best bit about it is the fact that you know that you haven't had to pay that much to buy it. I think you're going to be able to spot Hyundai i10 owners because they'll be wandering around with a big smug grin on their faces. They're going to look like this. Yeah, and that'll make them really, really annoying.
And this sums up the i10. The way it drives means it doesn't feel like it's a budget car, but more like a big car that's just been minimised. It even features certain comfort-boosting features.
To help make the car as quiet as possible, Hyundai have fitted some extra seals around the windows to help minimise wind noise, and yeah, that appears to have worked. They've also done the same. They put some extra seals around behind the dash to stop the engine noise coming through into the cabin, and let's just see. Yeah, that works well as well. The only thing I can notice is a bit of tyre roar, but that could just be because, you know, I can't really hear any other noises, so my brain is just focusing on that.
And this is the same with the other issues with the i10. They are only really highlighted because the rest of the car is just so good. Like the brakes, which are so strong they can feel a little bit grabby. And my only complaint about the class-leading practicality is that there is no reach adjustment for the steering wheel, while a deep boot lip and ridge in the boot when you fold the seats down flat makes it harder to load heavy items and then slide them forwards.
Oh no, little car, you're just so close to being almost 100% perfect. But let's get back to reality. Nothing ever is, and according to us at the Carbuyer test team, this is as close as it gets. And yes, it's even better than the Kia Picanto, which you can watch a review of up here, or even the Skoda Citigo, which you can watch down here. And that's why we've named it the Carbuyer Car of the Year for 2014, which is exactly what I said in my initial concise review. But hey,